This video is by Asmongold. It says Trump saves gamers. Sorry. So let's see what this video is about.
Trump is the only president and is the first president to put gamers first.
President Trump just signed a new executive order, and it could be the biggest news for gamers who haven't heard yet. Games are being censored, not by Steam though,
That's right.
but by the banks that handle the money. This new
Yep.
executive
Crazy.
order is the first legal step in stopping this. Recently, if you haven't heard, some games were removed from the Steam store, but
That's
this
right.
wasn't
A
because
lot
of
of
a
them.
bug or a developer's choice. Instead, it happened because a big payment company like MasterCard decided that a few games were a reputational risk. This is a vague rule that lets them pressure a company like Steam to remove
Yep.
any games they don't like. As a result, the banks that handle the money for Steam got involved, creating a chain of pressure.
Well,
that let-
they create the chain. They don't
Yeah.
do it directly. They do it through middlemen so they can avoid being directly accountable.
Correct. 1,000% correct. You know, that's how they do it.
We also allow gamer words to be used again. His final executive order at the end of his term will be legally mandating the allowance of the F word again. You're going to be able to call your friends the F word, and you're going to be able to call anybody the F word.
to the games actually being removed. This is a
That's sarcasm, guys.
big deal because
Yep.
it shows that a third-party company that handles the money, not the
Barron
government
told him to
or
do this.
Steam itself, is now deciding
Yeah.
what we can and can't buy. This kind of power is a form
bad.
of digital censorship, and is especially concerning since a new rule was recently added to Steam's guidelines that gives them the power to remove content that may violate the rules and standards set forth by our payment processors. The thing is,
Yeah, that means Steam is fucked, bro. You could buy a game, they could take it away from you, not give you no refund, nothing. The game is just gone. Your money is gone. Hopefully they do give out refunds, but god
the
damn.
Steam situation is just one example of a much bigger problem. It's part of a growing trend of these payment companies censoring or even debanking anything they don't like. Debanking is when banks or payment companies close accounts or refuse to work with people and businesses.
I
or-
don't see how this isn't illegal. I mean,
It's very
having a
illegal.
bank account is necessary in today's day and age.
Bro,
How the fuck can you just take away somebody's bank account?
you can. They've done it to Andrew Tate. Look at Andrew Tate. For some weird reason, the whole world just didn't like. Because, man, I think Andrew Tate came out at the wrong time. If Trump was president, Andrew Tate would have been king. Imagine if Andrew Tate was popping as he was that time now. Oh, shit. He would have been unstoppable. But remember, he came out at the woke era. Before the woke era started crumbling, you know? So, like, it happened to him. One of the biggest guys got debanked. He got scrutinized. He got all of that shit, bro. Like, so you can imagine how bad it was for him.
Like, I mean, really, like that's like taking away a person's internet or somebody's water
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
They do it via terms of service. It should be, yeah. Having a bank account should be
Lol,
viewed
someone in his chat said IRL ban. Yeah,
as a
definitely.
utility in the same way that water or internet is a utility. That's really what I think.
for reasons that aren't actually about money. The censorship we're seeing on platforms like Steam is very similar to how banks debank people. The payment processors are essentially saying, if you don't remove this content, we will stop doing business with you, which means you
That's
can't
right.
get paid. This is a
Simple.
direct financial threat.
It's
It's
an
what
essential
itch.io
service.
stated when they said they
Yeah,
had
like banking is. I mean, there's no universe where you can imagine that banking is not an essential service.
It is an essential
In the year
service, bro.
2025.
Nigga.
It is. It is an essential service, and it needs to be guaranteed for everybody.
to act
That's it.
urgently to protect the platform's
way it needs
core
to be.
payment infrastructure.
Nigga, I'm from South Africa, and you can imagine, bro, it is a core payment system. I'm in an area where it's not the richest, but it is a core central system. I even have it on my phone, just in case if I don't have any money or anything, I just tap every single shop that you see, except for informal business vendors, have a banking system or a credit card system that they can use in order to get money. Even now, e-hailing, for example, like Uber or I don't know, Lyft for you guys, Uber or Lyft or what, basically Uber. Also, these e-hailing guys have machines now where you could actually like tap to pay for your trip, literally, you know.
Structure.
Everybody
And also when
knows it.
Valve said if they didn't remove the games, it would prevent customers from buying games and content across Steam.
That's
The
right.
White House announcement calls this politicized or unlawful debanking and highlights how some financial institutions have restricted access.
The person making this video is making a slight correlation error, even though in effect they're right. Trump is mainly doing this to avoid, like Nick Fuentes is the best example of this, right? Wow, what a surprise that Nick Fuentes can't get a bank account. Who could have guessed?
Yeah.
But he should be able to get a bank account.
Yeah,
He
true.
can get an internet subscription. He can get water. He can get electricity. He should be able.
Which I feel like it's pretty wrong because they're basically debanking him because he has a different opinion. You know, like they debanking somebody that has a different opinion. It's not that he stole or murdered or anything like that. He just has a different opinion on everybody. You know, I don't agree with Nick Fuentes, F him, but like, you get me? Like, it's wrong that they debanked him, you know, for no freaking reason.
Able to get a
bro.
bank account, even if the people at the banks don't like him, because he's a gay Nazi.
Bro.
Well, what's the logic that a gay Nazi can use the internet but they can't have a bank account?
Bro.
Well, I feel like you should either be able to. Okay, so it should either be both or neither, right?
True.
It doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't make sense because he just has a different opinion.
Yeah, what is this? You shouldn't have either. I think you should just. I think that unless you're breaking the law, you should be able to get the service.
True. As what I said, unless you're breaking the law, not just having a difference in opinion. You know, like that's the one thing which I was looking at Tate. I'm like, yo, they really scrutinized Tate for him having a difference in opinion. Not even him being this whole misogynist. Okay, well, he was a crude person, but I mean, that's it, bruh. That's it. That's only it.
That's what I think. I think it's actually that simple.
Access to services on the basis of political or religious beliefs
Yeah.
or
Keep politics
lawful
out of utilities. Yeah, exactly.
True.
What about registered sex offenders?
Literally, so now they debank you off of your religious beliefs, customers' lawful business. Like, if the president ain't breaking the law, give him a bank account. Simple as that, bro.
Are you really trying to draw a correlation between a person who has political views that are generally seen as unfavorable and a literal sex offender?
Literally. You can't compare the two.
Go back to Reddit,
Yeah, go back there.
you fucking retard.
Literally, bro.
Get out of here.
You know?
You're so dumb.
Of course, I don't agree with Nick Fuentes. He's a racist. But at the same time, for me, it's like, bruh, like I don't give a damn what he does, you know. But him not getting a bank account is stupid. It's freaking stupid, honestly. Like it's ridiculous. Like I don't get it. Like it's so stupid, you know. Hopefully, you guys are doing good on the YouTube. Let me just check out my Twitch, just checking out everything. How's the bit rate? We're good. 237. Yeah, we're gonna hit 3 hours, guys. Soon, maybe 4.
Dumb. You're the biggest dumb idiot I've seen today. And I looked in a mirror today. That's bad.
business activities. So this isn't just about video games. Something similar has happened to cryptocurrency companies,
Yeah.
legal gun stores, and even anime stores. The White House announcement
thing's
points to
long
other
gone.
examples as
Well,
well,
it's been
such
going
as
on for a long
when
time.
federal regulators suggested banks flag individuals who made transactions related to companies like Cabela's and Bass Pro Shop.
Yeah, and again, like this is you read this state capital federal government suggested institutions flag individuals. Like in my opinion, I think that what they need to do, this is what I would do if I was in the federal government. I would figure out who was the one that actually made this suggestion.
Yeah.
And then I would charge them for voter intimidation, political intimidation, or something like that. Political prosecution. And that's what I would do.
Versus
Like I
scrutinizing the
one
one
thing,
that's selling it.
like if I ever became president, my biggest inhibitor would be the 8th Amendment. Let me just say that.
I wonder what's the Eighth Amendment.
The fact that they let this shit go on is embarrassing.
Okay, wait. I'm not American, so let me just Google the Eighth Amendment of America. The Eighth Amendment. What's the Eighth Amendment? Prohibits excessive bail, excessive fines, and cruel, unusual punishment. Okay, that's the Eighth Amendment.
It is absolutely embarrassing. That's the one for cruel and unusual punishment.
Oh, he says it.
That's, yeah. Yes.
Networks are essentially the roads of the digital economy. By controlling these roads, these companies can stop anyone they disagree with from doing business, even if they haven't broken any real laws. To fight back against this, President Trump has signed a new executive order called Guaranteeing Fair Banking for All Americans. This is a direct response to what the president's office...
The first gamer president. Gentlemen, we're fucking back. I never thought that...
It's not even gaming president. I bet Trump must have heard from one of his friends what happened, and he must be like, if they're doing that to gamers, what's gonna happen when they try to do that to us, you know? So
in our darkest hour, when our anime, cat girl, incest, waifu video games were being taken away from us, our knight in shining armor would be a orange 79-year-old man who says everything's computer when he steps into a Tesla. I would have never expected this.
Yeah. Biden wouldn't do this shit.
Not in a million fucking years. It's Barron pulling the strings. So dad, so there's like, okay, you know, like those like cartoons from Japan? Yeah. Okay, so they're making some of them against the law because it's like fucking weird, right? So like, can you make a law against not doing that? Because there's a lot of guys on the internet that are mad because they like those cartoons, but then the Visa doesn't want them to have the cartoons, so we gotta take them away.
Yeah.
Literally want to play a Gooner game? Maybe you're right, man.
It's called systemic abuses by financial institutions that undermine free expression and economic opportunity. This new rule tells federal groups that watch over banks to stop using vague reasons like reputational risk in their guidance and manuals.
Wow, bro, he just puts this in. He just goes and says it.
And that's the reason why they removed all of the 100 games. Because I'm betting he's like 100 games. And when you look at the games that were removed, it's like, reputational risk? How? When literally there's no reputational risk. It's just a small group that's the collective shout of people that are like going crazy. And now they're like, whoa, Visa, stop that. You know, you guys, there's no such thing as reputational risk when you're Visa or MasterCard. You own everything. What the fuck are you guys talking about? Reputational risk. Just because of some anime titty game, we're going to just stop using Visa. That's crazy. All the banks are Visa and MasterCard, bro. Stop it.
You know what they've got to do, though? We've got to see if Nick Fuentes can make a fucking account. Because if he can't make an account, they're not following the law. That's what I think.
Fuck Nick Fuentes, bro.
Yep. They've got 6 months. I don't understand. Does this executive order mean that payment processors can't threaten online stores anymore?
Yes.
So if you look at this right here, remove the use of reputational risk. So basically what he did is that he went after banks for removing conservatives. But what he did is that he did it in an overarching way and in a way that is so categorical that it will affect also Steam and other payment processors as well. So, and this is from the White House. I'll read this right here. Removing reputation risk. Within 180 days of the date of this order, each appropriate federal banking regulator shall, to the greatest extent permitted by law, remove the use of reputational risk or equivalent concepts that could result in politicized or unlawful debanking, as well as any other considerations that could be used to engage in such debanking from their guidance documents, manuals, and other materials. This is massively overreaching in a good way. In a massive way. Like, this isn't just about conservatives. He actually saved gamers. Straight up. They don't define other? Exactly.
Exactly.
That means that it means whatever the fuck they want it to mean. Yeah, we need to debank to save our democracy. Yes, the most important thing to save democracy is to prevent people from being able to vote. So anyway, but what if a company is a foreign one? Will that work on foreign companies?
No.
Absolutely. Because if a company...
No, it will. Because remember, think about it. You have to follow the American institution. And plus as well, Visa and MasterCard own everything, bro. So
wants to do business in the United States, it has
which is everybody. So of course it does follow for them
to adhere to United States laws when it's dealing with United States citizens. And if it doesn't do that, then
and think about it. That's one thing which I like about the European. I shout out to Trump for this one. He actually went super quick on this law. I thought it was going to be maybe 2 or 3 years down the line, but he went super quick on this law. Shout out to Trump and Europe, for them actually coming up with laws and stuff that actually protect gamers, especially Europe. Europe have been really good with some of the things that they've been doing, and Trump with this one, this was really quick. Shout out to
it has a problem. That's the way it works. I mean, and that's the way it should work, by the way. If you want to do business in a country, you have to follow the country's laws. Duh. Of course.
And Americans are a majority of the customers. So, that's how it is. Well, majority or half of a good percentage of customers, I would say,
I think Trump watches your stream. I don't know.
Please, no, you don't.
I mean, I
remember Trump is a conglomerate. Republican is a conglomerate of so many people that are achieving one thing. So don't ever get confused that sometimes some of these laws ain't even made by him. It's just the whole thing. It's politics.
I'm happy to see this. I'll tell you that. I hope Valve takes down the guideline before people backlash because it's still keeping it. Well, they're going to keep it for a while because stuff like this realistically will take probably a year to resolve.
Yeah.
But after that, it'll be over. The removal of such concepts shall be made clear by each appropriate federal banking regulator through formal guidance to their examiners. This is massive. Like, this doesn't just affect conservatives. This affects everything.
Everything.
The order is specific, stating that regulators must remove the use of reputational risk or equivalent concepts that could result in politicized or unlawful debanking. From now on, banks must make their decisions based on clear financial reasons. The order also directs federal...
Perfect. Not future or, okay, we foresee in the future that this person is going to take us out. Show us. Where did you lose money? If you didn't lose any money, why are you debanking this person? God damn.
Federal banking regulators to review banks for any past or current policies that encourage politicized or unlawful debanking and to take action, including charging a fine. The ultimate goal of this order, as stated by the White House, is to ensure that no American should be denied access to financial services because of their beliefs, affiliations.
Amen. This is wow. I gotta give Trump to this one. This one is so good because, man, whatever your beliefs are, even if they're not aligned with mine, affiliations and political views, bro, they don't matter. Did you do a crime or not? As long as if you don't do crime, you're a tax-paying citizen. You can think about whatever the fuck you want, bro, and get the services that you want. This is awesome. This is actually super amazing. I'm thinking about somebody like Andrew Tate, and Andrew Tate is an American citizen. He must just get the fuck out of Romania. Literally.
Or political
views. This is meant to...
That's a beliefs or affiliations. If someone believes in incest,
let him be.
That is your right as an American. That's right. If you believe in incest anime games,
yes, it's your right.
Reputation equals financial stake loophole, I bet. No, it won't matter because they can easily. The thing is that in order to do that, they would have to provide a parameter for it. And then by doing so, they would reveal that they're not actually upholding that law or that rule. That it wouldn't work.
To prevent any financial unfair treatment and give fair access to banking for all legal businesses and people. So how does this new order connect?
Wait, hold up.
All legal businesses and people. Jeez.
Just a minute. I want to read that again. Banking decisions must instead be made on the basis of individualized, objective, and risk-based analyses.
True.
There it is. Banking is not being used as a tool to inhibit such beliefs, affiliations, or political views.
So how does this new order connect directly to our problem on Steam? This is where the details of how payments work become really important. As Valve confirmed in their response, MasterCard didn't go directly to Valve and tell them to remove the games. MasterCard communicated with acquiring banks. These are the banks that handle the money for businesses like Steam. MasterCard cited one of its rules, Rule 5.12.7, which says that a business can't process transactions that may damage the goodwill.
See, isn't this crazy how you can just literally...
That rule is gone.
They make a law and just invalidate their terms of service and tell them what to do?
Yeah.
Isn't it
simple.
crazy how you can just do that?
Simple. That rule is gone.
You don't have to listen to these fucking retards at all.
This rule is gone.
Get enough people together and then take their rights away. Problem solved.
Problem solved.
Fuck them.
Man, I'm so jealous of the American government. I wish it was like our government.
The corporation or reflect negatively on the marks. It's important to know that Visa has a very similar rule, just showing how this is a widespread issue across the payment industry. This is a perfect example of a vague reputational risk clause. MasterCard didn't have to prove the games were illegal, just that they were a risk to their brand. This was in response to a small number of complaints from the activist group Collective Shout. The acquiring banks, fearing that they would lose their partnership with a major payment network, then pressured Valve to remove the games. Valve complied, which is why they weren't fully debanked. So the executive order aims to stop this by forcing financial institutions to justify their decisions based on individual, objective, and risk-based analysis. The key difference is simple. Risk-based analysis is about measurable financial threats. Reputational risk is about feelings and public opinion. The new
simple. And the reputational risk versus risk-based analysis, it's clear as day. Are you losing money or not? Not reputation of we feel that this game is bad. No. Risk-based analysis.
Hoes mad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Hoes mad. Complete Karen annihilation. I've been waiting on this for a while.
Yeah.
Executive order is designed to stop financial companies from using the second one as an excuse to shut down legal businesses. This could protect game developers from being unfairly censored.
Game, anime, a lot of developers, bro.
So what can we expect now? While this executive order is a major step, it has its limitations. Some might argue that it doesn't mean much because it can't directly regulate companies like MasterCard or Visa. However, the executive
just do another one. If they think they're going to get around it, just do another one.
Yeah.
Just do that. Yes, make another rule. Yeah, the thing is that, it gives them an out too. Exactly. And it's so easy. Like, everybody's like, oh, well, what if they try to get around it? Yeah, he's incorrect about reputational risk. I have experience in compliance for a financial institution. Reputational risk is quite complicated, but not really hard to do analysis and state as fact. I think that you can easily explain reputational risk in terms of a financial analysis.
Simple.
I don't think that this law is against that. This law, like, whenever you're talking about reputational risk, he's talking explicitly about making subjective judgments based on cultural criteria. It's not, we're not talking about like, oh wow, somebody doesn't want to do banking for Tren de Aragua or they don't want to do banking for a cartel. Yeah, okay, that's fine, because you can clearly... Actually, you know what? They probably do. I bet those guys pay their shit on time. I do. I bet they never fuck that up. But let's say it's some other group of clowns that is doing it wrong. Yeah, they do? Of course they do. They have to. Yeah, I mean, exactly. Of course, yeah, 100% they would. Yeah, I mean, again, like, you know this if you've done anything illegal. Like, there's a level of trust that you exist on, and the level of trust that you have to exist on whenever you're doing shit that's illegal, 3 or 4 levels higher. So, yeah, it's probably no issue at all. Anyway, everybody learned from Al Capone? Yeah, and I mean, like, yeah, I mean, look, I mean, that's just how it is. They don't want Capone? Yeah, exactly. My point is, though, is that we're not talking about a financial probability calculator for chargebacks or refunds.
Yes, that's what we're not talking about. We're talking about actual financial data. Not now the probability of us associating ourselves with this guy, you know?
I think that you and I would both agree that that's a valid reason to debank somebody because they're effectively using your service in a bad way. But I think that what this is clearly about is it's about social pressures for cultural decisions. That's really what's going on here. Obviously, that's what's going on here.
Order does create a powerful incentive for banks to stop caving to this type of pressure. If an acquiring bank knows that it could be fined by a federal regulator for acting on a reputational risk concern, it's far less likely to do so. This could make the vague rules of payment processors effectively powerless. According to Valve's newest statement, they were pressured by these banks, citing MasterCard's rule. So while Valve wasn't formally debanked, they were put in a position where they had to choose between censorship.
Well, they were threatened to be debanked. I mean, being threatened to be debanked is the same thing as debanking somebody.
Simple. Yeah.
Like, I mean, functionally it is. They're saying, I'm going to shoot you unless you do something. Like,
then you have to do something, and so that they don't shoot you.
That's not really that much different than shooting somebody.
True.
And a massive financial threat. This is the exact thing this executive order is trying to stop. Looking forward, though, this executive order could pave the way for more changes. We could see new legislation like the Fair Access to Banking Act gain momentum in Congress. This act, which has seen bipartisan support, aims to prevent banks from using subjective, non-financial standards when deciding who to do business with.
Oh, this is actually going to change the American... Oof, dude, you don't even understand how different this is going to make a lot of things.
I can't believe we're actually having a gamers rise up moment.
Not even a gamers rise up. This is like a lot of industries that are going to get affected. A lot of individuals that are also going to get affected by this.
It's actually happening.
This is crazy.
Holy shit.
Law would have way more power than an executive order. It could directly and legally stop...
He's right about this, is that you need to make something like this a law. An executive order is like a Band-Aid.
Payment networks from denying service based on a business's legal activities or political views. The details of the bill are designed to force this change. For example, it would prevent banks from making decisions based on unfair and random standards, a legal way of saying a decision made without a good, clear reason. The bill requires banks to have a written...
Well, it's very simple. They should only be making decisions based off of a financial analysis.
True.
It should have nothing to do with a financial and legal analysis. I think legal is also important. So, like, if you're making a decision like, oh, well, this is, like, a problem because, like, of their viewpoints or something like that, anything that is outside of a financial or legal analysis should not come into play.
Yeah.
Karen's made this possible. If they didn't force Visa, this would have never been a bill. I think that it still would have because this has been a problem.
It's not even about the Karens. It's other situations where it could be a news outlet or like social media, basically. The outcries, besides even Karens, a lot of people outcry for things and they force these companies to be in these type of situations, you know? It's crazy.
Problem that's been going on for a while with conservatives, like what I said with Nick Fuentes and also with Trump and other conservative groups. Like, for example, there was a website called Patreon, which was a Patreon alternative for people that were trying to raise money, but their stuff got removed from Patreon because for whatever reason it was politically incorrect or some form problematic. This probably will be the same thing. That's kind of what I'm expecting.
Documented report
And
showing a
gunshots? Yeah,
risk-based
gunshots, too.
analysis for all
I forgot about
decisions.
them.
This means they would have
But
to
yes.
back up their choices with clear, factual information, not vague concerns about their brand. This would be a more permanent
Yes.
solution, like treating these payment companies as essential services.
Yes,
So
they're essential utility service.
And that's it. They're not a political group. They're essential utility service. Literally, bro.
That's how they should be treated because that's what they are.
if the pressure from payment processors start to disappear, the new rule on Steam would become unnecessary and could pave the way for a return to a more hands-off content policy on the platform. So although the fight to stop censoring games is not over yet, there are some signs it might not last forever.
I cannot fucking believe.
But it's a start.
I cannot.
It's a start. It's a start for real.
Not
For
fucking
real.
believe it was him.
But
I thought
this guy-
JD Vance was going to be the first gamer president, but it turns out we already had one. Give this video a like. I didn't even know about this. I didn't know that it was overreaching.
It was. So I'm gonna give this. I'm gonna share you guys this video, the Asmongold one, and I'm gonna show you guys the original video. So two reactions. You know, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Shout out to Donald, Mr. J. Trump. He did the things that were necessary. Yeah, definitely. We're almost to 3 hours. My first 3-hour stream. So I'm thinking maybe let me just end this one off with a light video. I want to end it maybe with 2 videos. So let's go to the next one. This one.
OnlyFans mod. Am I able to watch this?
By Asmongold. This is on his Clips channel. So they finally. Oh, let me go. Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm gonna stick here. What is that? This is my chat. Sorry, chat. Okay, let's jump in. So this one is called her what? Her family found her OnlyFans. Yeah, a girl's worst nightmare.
OnlyFans mod. Am I able to watch this?
She sent my mom my fans links.
The title of this post is "The Dildo of Consequences Rarely Comes Lubed."
She sent my mom my fansly and a picture of me doing a picture of me sucking
A succulent Chinese meal.
and I
Wow.
and it's my fault because she's saying my cousins were looking up my pictures, like my male older cousins. They were looking me up, and I said, why the fuck aren't we asking them why the fuck they're looking at me?
Girl, the accountability and women. Trust me.
Why is everyone saying like, oh, it's me? Why is it always
is
me?
you.
Why the fuck is it always me?
Because you're the one that's doing the stuff. You know, it's not your cousin's fault.
I do want to say that watch the beginning of this clip. Listen to the words that are said.
She sent my mom my fansly.
Remember what I said before about how there are no greater haters for women than other women?
Women,
One
true.
of the big problems that I think that these girls starting an OnlyFans, you're probably not thinking of the consequences that, you know, what if you make an OnlyFans and the only people who subscribe to it are
Is
your
your
distant
family.
family members?
True. That's the problem with making an OnlyFans. As much as you can make the money, you know, it's what if you don't make the money, you know? And I'm not saying girls shouldn't be able to do whatever the fuck they want. You can, but of course, everything has a consequence.
Let me see.
You
I
know?
think there was like a tweet that I saw about this of these girls that are like massively successful, but what you don't see are
The girls that are not massively successful. The girls that are massively successful is like YouTube. How many people or Twitch or streaming? How many people do you know that are famous on Twitch? It's a 1% of the 99 freaking percent of people that are out there. It's like any freaking social media or content page. You know?
all of the girls that, you know, they make $200 for a few months and then they don't make any more money besides that. And everybody who knows them personally is, you know, trading around their nudes. And so I think that's really one of the big differences between like, you know, this versus like Twitch streaming or something like that, right? I think that's a huge fucking difference.
Not
So
even a
watch
huge
this.
difference,
Me, the
night
day
and
I
day.
turned 18, I'm going to start an OnlyFans so I can move out and get rich. There it is. $180.
$80 a month. Damn. Yeah, moving out incoming soon, eh?
A month. Hate videos, still with their parents.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, yeah. And so there it is, such a risk. It's a massive risk. And there's a huge survivorship bias that happens with it. And the point that I'm making about this is that a lot of these girls don't realize that by starting an OnlyFans and by doing this, you are crossing a threshold that after you do it, that's pretty much about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not lying. That's pretty much about it, you know. Unfortunately, people don't understand as much as everybody's kind of getting into like this whole new world factor, and people are kind of like, you know, accepting a lot of things and accepting, okay, I do OnlyFans, maybe I do this, I do that. Remember that as much as people accept, imagine even till today, some jobs, if you have a face tattoo and all of that, people still see it as taboo. So imagine if people still see tattoos as taboo. Imagine now you're on a website which is basically a pornography website, you know? So it's still taboo in a sense. It's not necessarily something which you can actually like do and all of that. So it's how it is, bro. It's how it is. It's the nature of the beast. It's how the game is, you know. It is what it is. I definitely agree you shouldn't have a job if you have OnlyFans. You know.